Hello, hello, hello. What is going on? We're back here on the farm. I'm about to bring in the second string to get them milked, and then I'm gonna do some scraping. I forgot to start recording this morning. I was just doing a bunch of work, but I'm just doing some calf feedings right now and moving the cows and scraping, so it's nothing too crazy. But here, probably once I get done doing this, we might have some other things that we need to get done, but there's probably gonna do like another day in the life type video, get some farming done, have some fun. We'll see. We'll keep it going though. Come on, girls. Hip, 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 hip. Come on, keep moving. Get up in there. What are you looking at? 116. Come on, go. There we go. All right, we'll get these gates opened up here, and we'll get the cows brought up. Gotta get. Eesh. Yeah, if some of you who watched my manure spreading video, so you would know that I accidentally dropped like a couple 100 pounds of cow manure on top of my GoPro. And when I did that, it was in the mount that I usually use for my chest mount, which is like a special mount. It sticks out farther, so like the camera has like the correct angle on it. And when I dropped the couple 100 pounds of manure on my camera and buried it on accident, it destroyed the mount, like shattered it. So now I need to wait until I get a new mount. Probably gonna go buy one today, but obviously I gotta film a video today, so that doesn't help. But I'll probably buy it like tonight actually. But yeah, I'll just be walking around holding the camera today instead. Oh yeah, I had a question. I don't know if you guys would be interested or not, but here pretty soon I'm gonna rebuild. I got a XR 200 Honda dirt bike. It's like a 2001, so it's about 20 years old. Just gonna get a full rebuild kit for it and rebuild the engine. I don't know if anyone would want to see a video on that, but if you would, let me know, because I'm probably going to record it just because. And the PTO clutch for the our 150 horse international harvester is going to either show up on Thursday, Friday, or Monday. We don't know for sure yet, but video on that very, very soon. I'm gonna get these cows getting up in there, the holding pen, then we'll get some scraping going, and then we'll get to some other work. Come on, girl. Everybody get up. Yep, 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 yep. All right, I got all the cows up in the holding pen now. I'm starting on scraping all the poop out and into the underground pit. All right, I went and did some digging around, and I found a new mount for my GoPro for the chest mount, so hopefully I'll be able to do some working and some talking at the same time. But the main reason I found it is because I thought of a story while I was working earlier that I wanted to tell while I was working, just to keep you guys more entertained, because I'm just going to be feeding calves today, like the normal stuff. So I thought I might as well tell a story. So all right. Story time. Let me set the mood real quick. This would be back in like 2017. I was a junior in high school. It was a Friday. It was late spring, early summer, and So I just got done with school. I came back to the house and I was feeding calves, got done feeding calves, and I already had my dirt bike loaded up in the back of my white S10. I was gonna go to my friend's house and we were gonna ride dirt bikes basically until the nighttime. So I get to Kyle's, we're having a blast. We go dirt bike riding, we're having like a really good time. What's up, Cav? I'm gonna feed you in a second, that's what I'm here for. Yeah, we're riding up on the mountain. We get done riding, and when we get back to Kyle's house, I go to get my truck and he's like, hey, there's gonna be a party up on the mountain tonight. You wanna come? I was like, hell yeah, I wanna come. I don't gotta work tomorrow morning. That sounds like a really good time. So we leave my dirt bike at Kyle's house, take my truck into town, go to the local convenience store. Hey, Mr. Somebody, because at the time we were 17. And oh yeah, I forgot to mention, this story is strictly for entertainment, mostly fictional. You know, wink, wink, nudge, nudge for legal reasons. Because, yeah, so, you know, take that with a grain of salt. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge, fictional story, yada, yada, yada. Anyways, so a bunch of 17-year-old kids, we acquire ourselves some alcohol and then go, and when you go around town, you look behind like convenience stores or like places like Safeway or Walmart, stuff like that. You can find like wooden pallets usually. And so we go and find a bunch of pallets and put them in the back of my truck and then head towards the mountain. And the mountain that I'm speaking of is actually the mountain that you see most of the time in the backdrop of my farm. That mountain right over there. I don't know if you can see it super well, but the one off in the distance, and you see all the big clear cuts up on it. So I don't know about other places, but in Washington, especially Northwest Washington, whenever a bunch of teenage kids want to go and do some underage drinking and or have a party or have a very large bonfire, you just head up one of those mountains because there's such a network of logging roads that you can just go up there high enough, have a good time, don't disturb anybody, and you're having fun. See, that same rooster just tried running up on me again. Dude, I'll discipline you on camera. Get out of here, leave me alone. I'm trying to tell a story. But anyways, okay, so mountain time. We go up the mountain to our designated location. Me and my friends, we unload the truck of all of its wood and we start building a fire. And by the time that we get the fire built, there's a good amount of people there. You know, it's gonna be a decent party. I'm feeling it. It's Friday night. I'm about to have a really good time, right? So I reach into my truck and I pull out a Corona because we got a 24 rack of Corona bottled beers, and I open it, drop the tailgate on my truck. Somebody starts playing music out of their truck, and I take my first couple of sips. You know, it's like my first beer, so I'm just like drinking it slow, enjoying it, and then I start hearing this sound. I'm like, what the hell is that sound? And at first I thought it was something to do with the music. And I'm like, what is this sound? And I keep on hearing it, keeps on getting louder and louder and closer and closer. I'm like, what? And eventually it's like this, like bump, 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 like someone's honking their horn. So I turn around, get up off the tailgate of my truck and walk up towards the logging road, and I look down it and I see these headlights coming towards us really quick, and they're honking their horn. And I'm like, huh, I wonder, you know, like what their deal is. And so the vehicle eventually gets to where we're having our little soiree, our little fire at. And once it gets there, it's a van, like a minivan. And I'm like, what? I'm like, who's driving a minivan up a logging road? And one of my buddies jumps out of the sliding door of the van. And when I say buddy, it's more like an acquaintance, you know, guy that I hung out with a time or two, you know, would have conversations with, see at school sometimes. Jumps out and he says, hey, we were heading back down the logging road and we saw 2 cop cars coming up the main road with their lights on. And I was like, oh, Well, that's wonderful. And so from that moment forward, it was on. It was like, oh geez, like either we're all gonna get MIPs, I'm gonna get arrested, I'm gonna show up at my house in the back of a cop car or something, I'm gonna get in a bunch of trouble. And so I did what any respectable citizen would do. I jumped up in the bed of my truck, cuffed my hands, and screamed, "The cops are coming, we gotta go," to the entire party. And my two friends that I went there with came running over towards my truck as I was jumping into the driver's seat, and they said, what are we doing? And I said, get in or stay here. And I backed my truck up in the logging road. It came in to where we were at. It came in like this, cornered, and did a switchback and kept on going up higher to way more logging roads, because like all the logging roads, you know, it was like a network of logging roads up there you can get lost on or lose people on, in theory. And so I back up onto the logging road, and my two friends hop in. I had a bench seat in my S10. They hop in the front, and then I think 2 or 3 more people jump into my bed as I'm backing away, because they're like, I'm not staying here for this. And so I go and I start going up, and I look into my rear view, and there's about 20 more cars following behind me. And as we're heading up, we can see the lights from the cop cars getting closer and closer coming up the logging road. And so we all just scatter. We just keep on going. Like, we're just like, all right, we'll go to the top, because if you go high enough, it's like a couple hours. You can go all the way up over the mountain, and there's like 2 other gates that you can go through to get off the mountain. So we just start going up and up and up and up, running from the cops like, you know, little teenage hooligans do. And we get up there high enough, and we come to a stop, and we're just like, hey, we'll just hang out up here, and you know, we'll just wait them out. And so we're up at the top, and we all stop, and one of my buddies keeps on going ahead, and we're like, he'll see us eventually, he'll turn around. And then like 2 minutes later, we see him reversing like really fast to come back to us. And as he's reversing towards us, one of the it was something in his steering came loose, and his truck goes like this and goes off a cliff and hits a tree with the tailgate to keep it from going all the way down the cliff. And then we all start freaking out again, because, you know, we're just getting away from the cops, everyone's settled down, and then he almost flies off a cliff. But in the end, we did pull him back up off the cliff, and then I ended up waiting on top of the mountain for a solid like 5 hours, you know, wigging out, adrenaline pumping, like, oh my God, are the cops gonna come? But they didn't come up that high. I was like, and then I drove home at 4 in the morning. But I thought it would just, you know, a funny, exciting story from back in the day. Oh, man, that was a lot of grain that had to get fed. What, dude, you have a problem with me too? Little chicken? Little chickie? But nothing too bad came of that. It was just, you know, your classic, oh, here comes the county sheriff, time to get out of town sort of deal. It ended up being a fun night. We had fun. We, you know, all sat in our trucks and cars and whispered back and forth to each other, listening for sirens for a solid 3 hours. I apologize if today's video isn't as interesting to most people as my last few videos were. All I was doing today was feeding calves and bringing in cows. This is the afternoon calf feeding now, which is the exact same thing as I did this morning, just bringing in more cows and scraping and feeding calves. But this weekend I am going to be doing some milking, or a couple different milkings, and checking for hoof warts on all of our cows and a bunch of other stuff this weekend. So Sunday's video should be more interesting. But I mean, I told an all right story today, but I'm probably gonna call this video right now, because I don't have anything else like too interesting to record. I mean, I might splice something in later, but I doubt it. But anyways, thank you for watching. I will see you Sunday, 8 a.m. Pacific time is when my next video will be. And yeah, subscribe and like and all that jazz, and share, blah, 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 blah. But yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.